Jamaica. Not the country, but a race with lots of booty. Let's see what's inside. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're going to be unboxing Jamaica, a very interesting little game that Tony recently acquired for himself and very generously lent to me to unbox for you all. It's a game that's kind of a race, but also a kind of a points collecting game. Basically, a pirate has retired, he's the governor of the island, and he's organized a race around the island with all his former comrades kind of collecting the loot. The game winner is not necessarily the race winner, but the person who kind of gets the most loot on their way to the race, and I think who is also in closest proximity to the race. So it's kind of a points winning game. But again, a very beautiful looking game. It's for 2 to 6 players. I think it plays best at 3 and it's about 30 to 60 minutes long. A bit of a dice chucker game, but something that's nice, fun and simple and great for the family. So with no further ado, let's unbox this game and see what we have inside. So again, even just looking here at the artwork, it's very pirate themed, nice and colourful, very kind of gives an idea of very child friendly, a very simple, straightforward game. So a lovely little bit of artwork, here, and of course you can see here on the sides that there's been a lot of love put into the game because again they have put some nice decoration on all the sides, and even here on the interior aspect of the board you can see all the pirates that you are racing against. So some lovely decoration here, no doubt would add to all the illustration in the game itself. You have here the rule book. Now this is nice. It's a kind of it's a thin type of paper, but there is a very clever little thing here that, you know, depending on what you want to check, you can automatically go to the page you want. So if I wanted to check the combat rules, I can go straight here. If I want to check the end of the game, I go straight here. If I want to check the setup, I go straight here. So that's a nice little touch. Again, the illustration artwork is quite nice. It's not a very elaborate rule book. A lot of little illustrations, little points. The rule book itself is only, I'd say, about 10 pages long, so it's not going to be a hard one to get into. And you have a nice little biography of the characters here. So you have 6 captains, of course, 2 female, 2 old guys and 2 kind of youngish guys. So we have here the board itself. So let's have a look at this. Now it doesn't seem to be a huge board, which is a good thing. It means that it's not a table hog. So again, very nice. I presume you have the function aspects of the dice here, and you have all the different parts and pieces you go around here. I presume, like say for this island for example, you can go left or right depending on what loot or treasure you want to get, that it might take you a little bit longer. So I can see here, if you go in the inner part you get more treasure, but it only costs 2 spaces to get it, whereas here you have 5 or 6 spaces. So again, a very beautiful little board that is not double-sided, but you know, the other side isn't just a plain kind of black board baseness. It's got some nice little decoration on it. So again, there's a lot of love put into this game, and the board is nice and small and handy, so it's not a table hog by any means. We have here what seem to be, I presume, the ships or the player boards. So it's you have one kind of little cargo hold and 6 little spots. We have 6 of them, and they're double-sided, so I'm guessing these are the actual player boards themselves. We have some nice wooden dice. Now these are lovely. I'm just going to zoom in on these. So you have the standard D6, but you have a specialist die with a 10 pirate symbol, what I presume is a clash, a 4, a 2, an 8, and a 6. So some nice little variation there. The slots as well are interesting in that you can fit a finger in, so it's a well-designed little board. You have a little Jamaica token here. That is probably the first player marker. Maybe it's just something to kind of cover players. You have cards here, which are, of course, sealed. So we'll have a look at those in a moment. We'll have a look at the rest of the tokens first. We have the ships here, which are nice small little plastic minis. So we'll just take them out and have a quick little look. Again, very simple, very straightforward, but very cute, you know. So there's no doubt that it's a pirate ship. It looks really nice, nice and small, and you have all the colors of the rainbow with them. So again, nothing wrong with that. Nice simple player markers. We have here plenty of tokens. So these seem to be food tokens. So I'll just open and have a little quick look. So yeah, they predominantly seem to be just food tokens. So I presume that you need to feed your pirates, or that it's just part of the booty that you get for the celebration. We have here money tokens, which are actually, I have to say, quite nice looking. You know, you have the Bank of the Caribbean with the skull and the simple number on the back. They all seem to be just ones. And we have finally here what look to be cannon tokens. So we'll open this and have a quick look. Again, just your standard cannon token and a whole bag of them. So plenty of tokens for the game. And finally we have, I forgot, there's a compass here, which may be the first player marker. We have other tiny little cards here, and we have other specialist little treasure tokens here that are all just seem to be treasure boxes. So they all slip in here quite nicely, and the tray itself, as I'll zoom out, seems to accommodate everything in the box very well. So it's not a game that you're going to have trouble fitting the lid back on. So we'll have a look at these little treasure tokens here. So one seems to be an extra booty space, 2 cannons, what seems to be a map, a boost to combat, some extra treasure, some extra treasure, some extra treasure, and some really extra treasure, and some not so extra treasure, cursed treasure I would presume. So there's a nice little kind of lucky dip, I would imagine, to some of these cards. And we have here the cards themselves. So we'll pull these out and see what we have. So we have the Mary Read seems to be the first card. So I presume this is one of the actual players. So these would be her cards in terms of that she can go left or right. So one seems to be clear sailing and one seems to be stormy. You have here what seems to be a treasure card. You have here again what seems to be treasure or clear sailing. You have here what seems to be clear sailing and not so clear sailing. So it's interesting that the cards would kind of, and this one you're forced to go to the right. So I presume that depending on the cards you draw, you're forced to go in a certain direction. So there is a bit of fortune to it. You have a combat clash here and forced to the right. So there seems to be a lot of these. So these are the Mary Read. So again, this one here is, you've got food and booty on one side and cannon on the other. You've got food on one side and the ship sailing on the other. Cannon and food booty, cannon and treasure, and finally ship sailing and food booty. So I'm guessing that you have the chance to kind of bring some of your players up, and of course it fits in there quite nicely. Now I imagine that the rest of the cards are very similar in the sense that, yeah, it's all the same type of cards, the same type of artwork. So what you've seen there is essentially the player cards that they draw and put forward. So we have here the John Rackham. We have here the Oliver Levasseur with his very interesting little eye patch. And we have the Edward Drummond, of course, the Black Pirate with a little bit of black mascara. So we have all the cards for him. We have the Anne Bonny. And finally, we have the Samuel Bellany. So again, they all fit in here perfectly. So it's a nice little, quite tidy game that it's something you can put in and out and set up nice and quickly and easily. So I think this is a game that's also going to be very child friendly, but also a bit of fun for the adults as well. So thank you again to Tony for lending this to us so we can unbox it. And as always, if you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, this is Sean from The Lucky Roll, signing off.